Hi everyone, it's Mr. Wig here. If you are new to my channel, you're more than welcome. Join me and wish me luck on my new videos because sometimes I think I'm so far and so close. So stay together with me and join me, okay? Peace! Hi everyone, Mr. Wig here. Olá, como estás? Tudo bien? Ça va, mon ami? Swadika. Olá, tudo bem? Hi everyone, I'm talking about here today is I think 5 mistakes that couples, friends, whatever type of relationship you are, that we think we can make in our relationship. I think, but before I start, can I just say that I'm not trying to say that I'm qualified to tell you, or I went to uni and learn, or I'm what do you call, someone who can give you counseling or advice, or I'm a psychiatrist, you know, none of that. Sometimes the way we live our lives, we live and learn isn't by own mistakes, and that's what I'm doing. I'm over 50, less than 60, and hope that you enjoy it and it can help you. And sometimes we need to go through situations in our lives to be able to have this experience. Obvious, a child of 10 years old or 20 or even 30 will not have the experience I have, but that is all to do the way that we've been taught what we want for ourselves and for the others. So these 5 mistakes that I'm gonna say is the first one is the tone of voice, the way that we speak. The second is we should never express our negative thoughts about ourselves to the other person, isn't because we can try to tell the other person that the other person actually make us to feel negative. The third is the trust, isn't. The fourth is don't blame them when the sex isn't great, isn't, because we can always blame the other person. And the fifth mistake that I think that we all do, including me, I never say that I'm perfect, but I do like to work things, and by looking these things that I'm telling you is something that I could apply in my life. Unfortunately now I'm separated for a couple of years now. So the fifth, just to finalize, and after that I will go one by one, is people, they don't show love by their words or by their actions, and sometimes maybe we wouldn't say nothing, but if we do it, like the way we give a cuddle, etc., we could show love. So let's go through the 5 very briefly. So the tone of voice, what I mean by the tone of voice, imagine you are in an argument and you would scream. I used to remember my ex, she used to always scream at me. And in the first year, I think I could take it, and the way that I answered to her made a big difference. But you know, if someone shouts and screams at you all the time, in a way, actually, it's quite hard and difficult, isn't? Because one day you just lose it and you will shout. And I have to say that is really, really hard. But the way that we say things to our partners or family or even friends can have a big influence. Believe me. Even if you think the other person is completely wrong, our tone of voice is going to make a big difference on the lives of the ones you love or the ones you are around. It could be even at work, the people you work. I have worked in places where the general manager, that is the guy, should give you the example. Perhaps you have seen, or even you are going through this at this moment, where these channel managers, they are absolutely rubbish. They scream, they shout, and even they call you names, as I have seen, because I used to work in hotels where I did maintenance. Some of them, they are, oh my lord, I couldn't believe it. How could someone be on that position? But their morals and values, it was really, really bad. So hopefully what I'm going to discuss here with you is going to help you, or is going to make you to think a little different, outside the boxes, like some people say. But please don't take it that I'm the expert, I'm telling you. No, please. The negative people, they're going to come to my side and criticize me or whatever. I'm sorry. I just want positive, and that's why I'm here. So I will remove you and block. Think about that before you come to my channel. And hope I'm I'm going to be positive to you. I just want to share the good things, really, as I want for myself in my life, I want for yours as well. So let's going to start. The tone of voice, whatever it is your fault or not, in a relationship or in a friendship, whatever is your relationship with someone, is the way that you will speak at people. The tone of voice, because one or the other is always going to shout. It doesn't mean some couples actually they don't shout, and that is really good. Well done to both of you. Really, really well done to you. But the way that you're going to speak, the tone of voice, actually the other person who's listening to you will remember, oh, she or he, yeah, he didn't shout at me, he didn't scream at me, and that is really, really nice, because that is the things that we'll have it here. And we are not I'm not focused here because I don't know your problems as you didn't know mine. I know them and they were huge. Is the way that you're going to speak with the other person, it can make a difference. I'm not saying some people they don't listen, it is true, and some people they are always stubborn, they think it's your fault. Have you learned, guys, I just came this across, if somebody points the finger at you, imagine you are my partner and I'm pointing out the finger at you. Did you know I'm pointing out one finger to you, but can you see on the side? Actually, I'm pointing 3 fingers at me. So before I put down the finger out to you, I need to look to myself. That means I need to look to myself. I am at fault as well. What I have done or what I can do better to improve. I'm really an humble person, recognize my mistakes and my problems and my struggles, and I will say I'm sorry and I try to get help, and how can I make the other person kind? How can I be kind to the other person and be positive in their lives? Now let's go to the second point, is never express your negative thoughts about yourself to the other person. And when you do that, in a way, actually, if you are like that all the time, you do put the blame in a way. I'm not saying you do that on purpose, it's because the way you feel, but in a way you do say, you make the other person feel that you are negative because of the other person. So if I'm a negative person, as my ex used to be, it made me, if I was negative and I was saying to my partner the way I feel negative and about this, in a way, if I'm saying that on a regular basis, I will make my partner think that she's being negative actually to me. And believe it or not, that is absolutely true. Maybe you say, oh, that is completely wrong. It doesn't matter. Think the way you think. I'm just sharing with you my thoughts, and that's it on this matter. So the way that we're going to say to the other person that we feel negative about this and that, it can make our partners, our family, our husbands and wives and friends, make them feel that they have the negative influence on the other. So if I'm a negative person, and I'll take my partner, my brothers, my uncles, whoever, maybe the other person, if he's listened too much, he starts to think that I'm negative because of them. So we need to get the balance on a view of that. The third question, the third big mistake that I think everyone does, is trust. Why trust? Trust for me is very important, like the communication is, and trust. If we don't have trust, as that's so many couples they don't have, actually that is so bad these days. We can watch programs, and Jeremy Kyle, for example, is a good case in UK, but there's a lot of radio programs. Jeremy Kyle now is in America, it isn't doing the American. Whatever part you are in the world, all these problems applies to you and to me. I'm a single person now, I'm separated, but it applies to everyone. Trust is the base and the foundation of any relationship, not only with our husbands and wives, but with anyone really, even at work. Unfortunately, there's a lot of negative, there's people they are fakers and we don't know who to trust. I was just listening to a program, the news yesterday, what happened is New Zealand is with that person, and I saw the video. I just watched the first seconds because I couldn't watch no more. That was so hard. How could someone have such a badness in their hearts? Unfortunately, there's people like that, and what I'm trying to create here is that you feel positive. Let's going to be good. Let's going to show our love, compassion to the others. Let's think of the best, because let me finish. This person was on the news. She was saying, I don't know who to trust even when I walk on the streets. I feel that, and I agree with her, because I feel that on a daily basis when I go out for my walk every day. Every day I go for my walk, and the amount of people, sometimes they look at you like you are a criminal, like you're going to kill them, or you are someone dangerous or whatever. Very rare you see people saying good morning or good afternoon. In my country, actually, it doesn't happen as much. People, they do like to communicate, and how are you, and this, etc. Olá, tudo bem? And so it's good for us to have that positive attitude in us. So the trust between a couple, in this case I'm talking about a couple, is very, very important, and is the key, because I know so many couples where him or her, whatever type of relationship you are, I'm not saying just a man and a woman, whatever type of relationship you are, don't go behind your partners or husbands and wives, behind them, and go and speak with your friends. Not always your friends, actually, they give you the best advice. And I'm saying that because I know a story, and this is real, but there's thousands, even maybe millions of situations similar to that, whether she or he, this lady actually, I know, when she was complaining she was having a bad relationship with her husband, and her single friend said to her, oh, you should be single like me, I'm much more happier. Oh, I don't have no problems, I do whatever I want. Exactly, you do what you want, you don't have no compassion for the other person, you are a selfish person who just want to do whatever you want. But if that's what you want to do, is fine, but when you're married, think about the things that you said, and the commitments that you're going to do. It's just not to have children, isn't like people they do these days. They have a child and they don't get to know each other. But to go back what I was saying, where this woman, she was married for 13 years, 2 children, and this other friend of work used to give her always the worst advice. Used to tell her, leave your husband, he's no good for you. I don't know what type of relationship they had. I always think that the couple is the primary focus of your life, to sort out your problems, not outside your marriage, because believe me, the majority actually, they will give you bad advice, and they give you always the wrong jump out, when they should say, look, when you got married, the vicar did say, for better and for worse. Exactly, you just read my thought. For better and for worse, but you don't want to listen the worst is, and you just want to listen for better. Whatever is happy, and we are okay, and we have money, and our sexual life is good, or whatever, you're happy. As soon as a problem comes, you're the first to run. But anyway, this friend, female, told so many times she thinks she was a friend to leave him or divorce or whatever, because she would be better on her own. Do you know what it did? She did leave her husband after 3 months. She used to go out with a friend so many times. They used to go out for to watch movies. They used to go to each other's houses. And you know what happened? A friend who told her to leave her husband started a relationship on internet with this guy from Australia. And after less than 6 months, actually, she moved with him and got married. Now, what she said to her friend, it was no truth, is that leave him because you'll be better on your own. Now, this person finished a marriage because a friendship with this woman from work gave her the wrong advice, because I always feel personally, is your decision you have to make. I would always encourage, don't go back to your husband or go back to your wife, go back to your boyfriend or girlfriend and try to sort it out. Nothing is perfect, as I'm not, look at me. And don't forget the finger, one finger at you, it will be 3 at me or to yourself. So when you point to her or to him, whatever is the problem, sort it out always between yourselves. So if that trust that you think that the person you love or you think you love is at work or is going out, even they go on holidays without each other, and they are talking about you in their back, like mine did actually in front of me. And that is true. She picked the phone in front of me and said not only lies, she just said her own way. But moving forward, so trust is very important to have on your relationship, okay? Let's go to the 4th. So, don't blame them when the sex is not great. So what do I mean? So the 4th is don't blame them. So don't blame your partner when the sex is not great. There are several factors. It's because the first one, Perhaps you never talk about your own sexuality, what you like, what fantasies, etc. You just jump so quickly that you forgot the main point. And as you get stable, or the months or the years go by, you can feel, oh, this is like a routine for me. No, it isn't. You actually can spice your relationship. And the best way to do, I always think, is communication is a key. What I like it, what I don't like it, when I like to be touched, what I like to do before or after. So both they can come together. But look at my fingers. If you are like that, no, I just like this, or I just like that position, or I just like that is not all about you. You can have actually the pleasure, and you can give the other person pleasure. It's just not about you. Even I know some couples, they don't do like that. I remember I took a taxi to go and pick my motorcycle that I had for a service, and we're talking about the men and women, and this guy, oh, I'm not like so many men. I never told my wife I love her. I just go home, I'll take a skirt or I'll take a trousers, I rip the knickers apart, boom, 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 and that is so sad. It's really, we are not objects. We are not someone you just can use a piece of meat is. And the man and the woman got a great responsibility, not only how to please each other, but that we give to the other person as we want to receive it. By doing that, your sexuality, they don't clash. Look at all my fingers, they don't clash. Or you move slightly, so it means that you adjust to her or to him, and you come together. And that is the key point. So don't blame the other person, oh, you don't do this or you don't like that. No, think about the other person needs. Is very, very important in a couple. So you come together. And actually, your relationship and physical and mental, because some people, they say that 80% of your relationship is physical. I do agree with that, because I passed months when I didn't have almost nothing. I had 5 times in 1 year, because she did the talk, but she never did the walk. Anyway, that it doesn't matter. There's another key point that I gave you that I think a lot of couples, boyfriends, girlfriends, they make, because they are very selfish. Is all I want, and if she accepts it, he will continue, or she will continue to do it. Now the fifth is a lot of couples they don't do, is they don't show love by words or by actions. What I mean by that, I know couples, they don't say I love you or I miss you, can't wait to be with you. And that is possible to keep that saying and that actions in your life. What I mean by that, it would be nice always to say, have a good day, darling, I do love you, can't wait to come home to be with you again and our children, whatever is your situation. And that is really, really nice to say that, because we're reassuring. Remember the other question, the third, it was about trust. So that trust you build by your words and actions, to give a cuddle, to tell her in her ear or in his ear that you love them, that is very special to you. It's like, I'm not talking with a child. A lot of people, they do know this. Unfortunately, they don't say, or they don't apply, or they think that is for weak persons, weak men or weak women. I don't agree, I disagree. It's very, very important in any kind of relationship around the world. In some countries, they give less. They give less than the others, and that is true. I come from a country where we are very touchy. We do speak what we feel, we show by our words and actions. I'm not saying it's perfect, I didn't say that. I'm saying that some cultures, they are more or less. And so whatever you are, is always very important to tell the person that you love it, that you care, that that person is special to you and in your life. Not only for our wives and husbands, boyfriends or girlfriends, but to our family, to our children. And that is very, very important, because that builds their esteem. They build that they have a good value in our lives, isn't? So that is very important. Show love by words and actions. So we have resumed all these 5 big mistakes that a lot of people do: couples, friends, boyfriends and girlfriends. If you think that is still hard, I just came on my mind something I want to do and show you, if you don't mind. I know what I'm going to do. Let's see if I can make you understand what I'm trying to say. Okay. Look what I'm gonna draw here. Hopefully you can see it from there. hope you can see it. Let's see, this just came on my mind. Let's see if I can do it. I'm no good drawing. Right. You must be thinking, what is he doing there? Well, I can tell you, I just draw there a box. That's what I'm saying. I just draw. Now, I'm going to make you to think, all of you. If I was your teacher and I wanted to tell you, look, just give me your answer at the bottom of the page. For example, imagine you have a piece of paper and then I would say, what do you see in here? Not the image itself, but what do you see there? I'm going to make you to think. Again after those moves, silly, but I just did that so you could think about what I did here. So can I ask you again, what do you see there? So if this was I'm going to tell you what it is. I draw this box, and if you got it, or if you think that was a box inside this white square thing that I just draw there, you're absolutely right. But my key point now, you're going to see why I have drawn that. Now, if this is your relationship, if this box is your relationship, what did you see here? Did you see just the relationship inside this square? How about outside the box? How about outside the box? Did you think? So if you gave me your answer, the only thing you could see was a box inside this white square. You're right. But in a relationship, you do need to see outside the box. And what does that mean? It's just not see what you think is clear, but what is not clear. So it means that you will have communication, you will have trust, you will not put your negatives onto the other. You see the other person's side and the way they talk and what is their fears and concerns about their lives. So it means if you think outside the box, you're thinking for them, you care for them. So what did you think of that? Was that any good for you? Once again, I'm not calling myself an expert or I went to uni, nothing at that. If you can't think outside the box, it means actually that you got a problem. Obvious, some people they think they are starved and they know everything, their life is great. Continue. I wish you all the best. I hope you enjoy it, and I'm sorry about my rubbish dancing that I did, and hope to see you next time. Bye bye for now.